Welcome to another edition of News Bites here on Daily World Television. My name is Kal Korff, and I'm your host. In the country of Somalia, American President Donald Trump has ordered airstrikes. These are not just the typical air support attacks from drones that have been given by the U.S. even under the Obama administration last year. Instead, this is a whole new escalation of the war to try to tip victory on the side of the Saudis. You must remember that Trump met recently with members of the Saudi royal family. They came to an agreement, and that agreement was unanimous between the Saudis and the Trump administration, which was to go ahead and take it to Iran. Trump continues to repeat the claim, because it's true, that Iran remains the largest supporter of terrorism worldwide. So in the Middle East, you have a war going on between the Sunnis and the Shias. It has been going on for over 1,400 years. There's no end in sight. In the country of Yemen, it is actually divided up into three regions, one of which is controlled by the Houthis, which are proxies of the Iran regime. Then you have the Saudis backing the former president of Yemen, and then you have this kind of in-between area that is kind of left out in the gray zone, if you will. So what is happening is the Saudis have been using their military during the past year to fight against the Houthis in what is really a war of proxies, because you must remember that other than Israel being the superpower in the Middle East, there is a war going on between Iran and Saudi Arabia for regional hegemony. Iran has won that war over time, meaning if you look at all of the collective assets that Iran has to work with versus the Saudis, the Iranians come out ahead. First of all, they have that nuclear agreement, which gives them tens of billions of dollars in assets that have been frozen for decades. That's free cash, free money. Plus, there's a lot of interest being paid on those billions. That automatically, that one settlement, makes Iran the largest economic power of the Persian Gulf or Arab Gulf region. Then you have, with Iran, with sanctions being lifted, its economy is bigger, its population is many times that of the Saudi Arabia, and unlike Saudi Arabia, it is a nuclear power. Doesn't have nuclear weapons yet, but it absolutely has a Russian-made nuclear reactor with more being built. The Saudis, by the way, are just starting their nuclear program, and of course the Russians are supplying them with reactors as well. But it will be years before they're online. So in the meantime, Iran goes after territorial control and regional power by aligning itself with countries like Syria. Because of its support for Syrian dictator Bashar Assad, combined with Russia's military might, Assad remains the brutal dictator in power in Syria, and he has effectively won that war thanks to the assistance of Iran and Russia. In the case of Iran, they have used battle-hardened soldiers from Hezbollah. Hezbollah, the terrorist group, is actually taking a bit of a respite, keeping their skills honed, because they have said that they intend to resume fighting against Israel at some state in the near future. Israel, seeing that Hezbollah has every intention of starting another war, has actually created a mock town in which they are practicing fighting Hezbollah guerrillas. Hezbollah has well over 100,000 missiles and rockets aimed at the Jewish state. So what's going on now is that Trump has ordered an escalation of American military involvement using unmanned aircraft or drones or even fighter aircraft that will now help the Saudis try to tip the scales back in the favor of the U.S. and their coalition forces. What has happened in the last several months is there's been a bit of a stalemate. Neither side has been decisive one way or another, and both the Saudis and Trump are seeking to fix that.